Hello nerds! Thank you for watching Generally Nerdy. This is the Week in Nerdom, your place for daily nerd news update videos, and today, being Wednesday, we're talking about movies. And this is going to be our longest video for the week, and not because we have crazy reviews to do, because we're actually not going to review anything for movies this week. I was going to do Spider-Verse, but I feel like we're a little too far removed from that at this point for it to be necessary. And I didn't see anything else this week, so no reviews. We have a bunch of news to talk about those, so let's hit the intro so we can talk about it. Starting off the news for the week, we have an update for Shazam. SuperBroMovies, it's a great name for a website, it's reporting that it seems that they're sticking with this New 52 thing in the DC Extended Universe. They're leaning pretty hard on that New 52 thing because one of the secondary villains, or the secondary villain for the Shazam movie, is going to be the 7 Deadly Sins of Man. That was from the New 52, like the New 52 version, I guess, is more appropriate. And also, the New 52 version of Shazam included the Marvel family, and we have a toy tie-in from Wheeler Books. I'm reading names, so pardon me for a moment, but Wheeler Books has a tie-in toy that has stickers of Mary Marvel, Captain Marvel Jr., Darla, Pedro, and Eugene, all in their superhero form. So we're gonna see, very, very likely, I mean, it's a kid's toy, so it's not 100% a confirmation, but it's very, very likely we're going to see the entire Marvel family in the Shazam movie. Probably, my guess would be the end credits stinger. From what we've seen of the movie so far, it wouldn't make sense to put them in at any other point, but very likely the end credits teaser. I'll be surprised if it happens sooner than that. But we're moving on. Next, we're talking Marvel and the future of the X-Men in the MCU. At the Golden Globes last week, Kevin Feige was talking to MTV News, which is a really weird thing to say because I didn't think they existed anymore. Apparently, people still care about the MTVs. So Feige was talking to MTV News on the red carpet, and he said this.
The truth is, I'm excited for all of them. I'm excited, and it's not just the marquee names. You know, there are hundreds of names on those documents, on those agreements, and the fact that Marvel is as close as we may ever get now to having access to all of the characters is something I've been dreaming about for my almost 20 years at Marvel, and it's very exciting.
The interesting part of that is the mention of non-marquee characters. We've already seen how they can take B-string and C-string characters and make them relevant, so it'll be interesting to see what they do now that they have X-Men in that roster that they can pull from almost twice as big of a pool now for characters. So that's interesting, but also the kind of reading between the lines thing, or inferring more than I should at least, it seems that maybe they're open to the idea of a different style of comic book character story as well, like we're hopefully going to get with the New Mutants, even though there are rumors that New Mutants has been canceled. So like we're hopefully going to get New Mutants because it's going to be apparently a horror movie, just something other than the big spectacle like we're already currently getting with what they have in the MCU. It'd be interesting to see if they can do something a little more offbeat that still technically is a superhero movie, but isn't what we know of a superhero movie. So that would be interesting, but who knows? Continuing with this little bit of Golden Globes news that we got from the red carpet, in that same interview, Feige had this to say about Adam McKay's newest movie.
I've not gotten a call yet, but I've seen Adam tonight and at a number of these awards, and he is not only, as everybody knows, an incredibly smart guy, he's an honest-to-goodness fan. Yeah. And you know, he did a lot of sort of behind-the-scenes help with us on the first Ant-Man film, and have you seen Vice? Little cameo, little Galactus cameo in there that we helped him get. So I look forward to speaking with him more.
And then Adam McKay later had this to say.
There actually has been some discussion about Silver Surfer. My agents certainly woke up. Okay. They were excited. We're in the middle of, backing Vice right now, but who knows? In a couple months it could pop up. I really am excited by that idea, so we'll see what happens.
So, going by those two statements, it seems that one of the first, if not the first, X-Men movie, X-Men centric movie, because the Silver Surfer is not an X-Man, but he's part of the property package that Fox is giving up. So, first X-Men, quote-unquote, movie that we could be getting in the MCU sounds like it might be the Silver Surfer, which is interesting because that's one of the few characters that I really feel like is a little dated at this point, but that again might just be me, but still an intriguing, not really one of the primary. He was in the cartoon, but still, yeah, just very, very interesting. I would really like to see what they can do with the Silver Surfer movie. But I'm going to pass off to you guys. Who would you rather see, other than the Silver Surfer, who would you rather see them make a movie of first, once the deal finally goes through? Switching gears over to DC, we're going to talk a little bit of animated movie news, and first on the animated movie news is the next Justice League animated movie. Apparently it's going to be Justice League versus the Fatal Five, and we have some casting announcements, so let's get to the reading real quick because it's a long one. Okay, we have officially announced casting for this movie is Kevin Conroy as Batman. Yes, thank you. Also, mainstays Susan Eisenberg as Wonder Woman and George Newbern as Superman. Again, yes, thank you. For the rest of the cast, though, we are getting a report from THR, the Hollywood Reporter, that Diane Guerrero has been cast as Jessica Cruz, Elias Gabel, I don't know, has been cast as Starboy, Peter Jessup as Thorak, Tom Kenny as Bloodsport, Matthew Yang King as the Persuader, Sumali Montano as the Emerald Empress Montano, I don't know, Philip Anthony Rodriguez as Mono, Daniela Bobadilla as Miss Martian, Kevin Michael Richardson as Mr. Terrific, Noel Fisher as Brainiac 5, and Tara Strong as Saturn Girl. I don't know the Fatal Five story, so I'm just excited about the names in there. Tara Strong's done a bunch of DC names. Conroy obviously is the voice for Batman, so just yeah, super excited about that one. And then we're going to kick on next to Superman Red Sun, which there's going to be a little bit more inferences made in this one, but stick with me because they'll make sense-ish. More casting for Superman Red Sun. That is the next rumored movie to be in production. Also, kind of about the movies we talked about last week, Batman Long Halloween is all but finalized. They are finishing the contracts for that cast that we talked about that was only rumored last week. Most of them have started signing or are in final negotiations for the contract, so that's going to be awesome. Anyway, Superman Red Son. Casting announcements. Still relatively rumor, but, you know, the last one was true, so why wouldn't this one be? We have Diedrich Bader, Amy Acker, Paul Williams, Tara Strong again, Phil Lamar, because he's one of the greatest voiceover actors ever, even though he's also a pretty funny live action actor as well. Jason Isaacs, Anna Vocino, Tim Ward, Jim Meskimen, Greg Chun, Phil Morris, Sasha Ruiz, Roger Craig Smith, Vanessa Marshall, Travis Willingham, William Salyers, and Winter Zoli. All of them currently undisclosed roles, but in negotiations at least. We can infer from previous voice roles that Diedrich Bader will be Batman. Paul Williams will possibly be the Penguin, even though I don't remember Penguin in the Red Son story. Again, I could just be faulty with the brain and the farts and the things. Jason Isaacs will likely be Lex, and Vanessa Marshall will be Wonder Woman. But the rest, that's fodder for the comments. Who do you think they're going to be? Who could Tara Strong be in this? Who could Phil freaking Lamar be in this? I don't remember a Green Lantern in this story either. But again, all I really remember is Superman and Batman. So that's not to say that they weren't in this story. But yes, that is what we have for that one. Next, we're talking about the Birds of Prey and the blah, 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 long, ridiculous subtitle. Rumor is floating around that Birds of Prey is going to forego the comic book look that we got in Aquaman and are very likely going to be getting in Shazam. We don't know 100%, but judging by the trailers, that's absolutely what we're getting in Shazam as well. Birds of Prey is not going to be following suit. They're opting instead for a more gritty, what was the word they used? Grounded tone. I feel like we should have learned our lesson, DC. I feel like Aquaman probably wasn't a fluke. And Shazam, when it's successful, is just going to make you... So, alright. We learned this with Suicide Squad. When another movie came out shortly before, and it did well, and they had to go do reshoots and recut the entire freaking movie, and then it was just a big pile of steaming garbage. That's gonna happen again. You're going to see that Shazam does well because it's embracing the fact that it is a comic book movie, and still is something that can be taken seriously, as we've learned from Marvel. That is a thing that can happen. It can both be super bright and colorful, but also serious in tone. If you go too stylized in the opposite direction, that's gonna put off a lot of people from the get-go. From the word jump, they're going to be like, I don't know what's going on here. But if you give the visuals that they're expecting, then they're going to be more open to whatever liberties you're likely going to be taking with this story. Because, again, the yada yada blah blah subtitle. This does not sound like a great idea. And actually, I've already shown my hand. I feel like they're going to go back and recut, because it's likely they're going to be color grading this with that crazy blue filter again, just like they did for the DC Titans show. And then it's going to test poorly, and they're going to go back and regrade, and it's just not... You're gonna lose money. Whatever. Not my barrel, not my monkeys. We're moving on. And next we're talking real quick, just a real fast little bit about the Green Lantern. It seems that Jeff Johns is being reported to be writing a new reboot. The one that we got, I want to say it was last year, though it's not in my notes. I can't remember. The spec script that we had that was kind of floating around for a while, that was Green Lantern Corps. apparently is not sticking around. Johns is rewriting it, and now it sounds like he's going to be borrowing pretty heavily from Grant Morrison's current run on the title in the comic books, which is very interesting because that's a lot more space and a lot of just the one Green Lantern instead of the entire team, which I felt like was a really cool way to reintroduce the world to the Green Lantern. So I mean, it's Jeff Johns, so it's not going to be horrible, but that's not to say it's going to be great either. So we'll see. This is still very much a rumor. It is 100% unconfirmed from DC, but it would make sense that they would give that title to Johns. And then our last bit of news for the week, guys, is Denis Villeneuve's Dune, which is making some progress. We have casting announcements for Dune. Oh, I'm so excited for this movie for so many reasons, not the least of which because Denis Villeneuve is brilliant. I don't think I've seen anything of his that I didn't really like at the very least. So, casting, we have Timothée Chalamet, who you will definitely remember from Call Me By Your Name and something else. I can't remember what else he was in, but he was the kid in Call Me By Your Name. He has been cast as Muad'Dib, Paul Atreides. Rebecca Ferguson from Mission Impossible Fallout has been cast as Lady Jessica, and the coolest of these announcements, Stellan Skarsgård has been announced as the Baron Harkonnen, and David Bautista has been announced as I always just kind of glossed over this name when I read the books. Glasu Rabin? I really don't know how to say the character's name. But it's going to be Dave Bautista, which is very interesting because Bautista's a giant wrestler guy, and from what I remember of the description of Rabin, he is not that. He's like a little snaky looking dude, if I remember right. I could be wrong, let me know in the comments, but interesting direction. Again, I wholeheartedly trust Villeneuve's decision making because of everything we've seen from him, specifically The Arrival, which is probably one of the best science fiction movies I've seen in a long damn time. So if he wants to go a little crazy, let him go a little crazy. It's not going to be Jodorowsky's Dune. It's not going to be that kind of crazy. It's also not going to be Lynch's Dune because that probably should have never been made either, but it's definitely going to be worth a watch. Even if it turns into a train wreck, it'll be worth watching for the train wreck, but not super likely considering the hands that it's in. So that is where this week's update ends, though, guys. Again, no review this week, just not a whole lot of movies coming out the beginning of the year. We will get into more movie reviews, I promise. What did I miss this week in news, guys? What should we talk about next week? Is there a review you want me to do specifically? Let's have that conversation down in the comments below. If, though, you want to go deeper into the conversation, jump over to the website, generallynerdy.net. That is the place that you can find all of the freebies, all of the social media links, all of the writings, article style, is all of that is up on generallynerdy.net. Patreon is a thing as well. The Patreon, I've recently expanded all of the things that you get on Patreon, so go check it out. We have, I think there's 7 tiers now, if I remember the count correctly. So go check out patreon.com/generallynerdy to see all of that. The lowest tier on that is just $1, and we do monthly live stream for the $1. We do early access to every video for the $1. There's a lot of stuff you get for that, just that $1. So go check that out. Again, patreon.com/generallynerdy. If this is your first time at Generally Nerdy, then definitely click the subscribe or the follow button, whichever media platform you are on. If you liked the episode, click the like button. If you didn't like the episode, then you can do that too. Whatever. I don't hurt my feelings. If you're falling behind on your nerd news and you want to catch up, you can always click the box right there to the left of my face to do that. But before we go, before we click boxes, before we visit websites and buy merch off of the website, general store tab at the top, always remember, guys, that if it's generally nerdy, it's probably here.